Hello and welcome to another episode of the Brandon Ramsey College Basketball Show. We're going to do a little chalk talk episode here where we're going to break down the very, very ugly film from Kentucky's loss to Michigan State on Tuesday evening. I'm recording this actually late on Tuesday night. Been watching the film for the past hour and a half or so. I'm about midway through the second half and just decided let's go ahead and pick it up live. Obviously, this isn't going to be shown live, but I am literally recording this my first time going through the film. Just thought we'd take 20 or 30 minutes and make a video out of this. You can kind of see my process for breaking down some of the film. Also, probably get some pretty raw reactions as we go through some of the good, bad, and ugly of the second half in Michigan State's win over Kentucky. Let's go ahead and dive right into the film. But first, if you are watching this video, please make sure you leave it a like and subscribe to the Brandon Ramsey College Basketball Show YouTube channel. Then also head over to Twitter and give me a follow at BRamseyKSR. But let's go ahead and get into the film room here. And we're picking up Mo Diabate had just gotten the steal and the dunk to cut Kentucky's lead deficit, excuse me.
Of that long pass by Diabate just to get a finger on it and be able to take it the other way.
Together for a little bit and see what happens. Michigan State and a horns alignment here. This is something we talked about in the scouting report before the game. Almost another steal there from Mo Diabate. Good seeing them be so aggressive defensively here. They've clearly are playing a little bit harder, quite frankly, than they were in some other stretches of the game. Another deflection there by
on this last couple possessions. Kentucky is showing in the make sure he finds. We can do that after
10 seconds of the shot clock. This is when everybody should be yelling, tighten up, which means getting closer to your man, wherever they are, even if they're a non-shooter. This is a point in the clock where you don't really want to help much, and you probably should be going under some of this action with Jeremy Fears coming off. Yeah, Kentucky does here. To me, that's too much help this late in the clock, and then again, I don't see the need to be guarding Jeremy Fears 30 feet from the basket. Look at where this ball screen is set. You should be able to just hop under that so that Malachi can stay with 15 on the roll, and that keeps Oweh from having to tag here. See, if you just get underneath it, or heck, at this late in the clock, 7 seconds, just switch it so that then you don't have this tag, get into a closeout situation and give up a wide open three, because I didn't remember that he made that actually in real time. But that's just bad late shot clock awareness. We'll show it one more time. I didn't remember that he made this one. So again, let's back up and get underneath this so Moreno can stay, or again, late in the clock, 7 seconds, you should be switching all these ball screens anyway. So just switch it. Aberdeen can roll down there with number 15, Cooper. You don't have to tag then, and you shouldn't be tagging very much off of Tang anyway, because he's one of their shooters. And heck, at this point, he already made too many. And now you're in a closeout situation. You fly by him.
Fake. And then steps back for the three
add
and
defensive execution late in the clock by 3 different players.
This is the best he's
there
played all season.
For
10 points now for Tang. I think always
got to get back in it. You just had a really bad defensive possession. Let's see what you get offensively here. A bunch of dribbling by Denzel Aberdeen, and then you throw the ball out of bounds. Was he the only person who touched the ball on this possession?
10 points now.
No, he did pass it out of the scoring area to Oweh and back.
That's nice. Take on Jordan Scott in this match.
And then you literally just get
freshman guard.
dribble.
Aberdeen trying to back down Fears.
Throw it into
Fears stood his ground, and Aberdeen airmailed it into.
I mean,
Jordan.
Whatever happened to Kentucky just coming down and ripping off some zoom action stuff?
10 points.
Like all this middle high screen into a ball screen isn't working when Jalen Lowe's not in the game. I mean, Oweh doesn't even attempt to do anything here because he's going to dribble it out of bounds like he did a couple possessions ago. Now we just have a one pass possession where he gets thrown out of bounds.
Well, that off the skip.
Round 16.
Cooper a little bit strong. He
Miss
can
it.
hit that mid.
Foul and rebound.
He's athletic. And surprising to see his role grow over the course of the season. No question. He's talented.
Flex action from the OB under.
This is him. Good bump back into the corner. Threw it off the
there.
foot of Aberdeen, and now it's a 2-on-1 with Noah. Oh. And threw it off the foot of Aberdeen.
I mean,
now it's a 2-on-1.
you just got to be better than this if you're Trent Noah. Like, you gotta make him go deeper before you make this decision. Like, at this point, go lay it up. You're a Division I college basketball player. But if not, you can't lob it backwards at the elbow and turn it over here. That's bad. It's really, really bad.
And just a bad decision in transition. Noah should have taken it all the way.
Now other end of the floor. Boom.
Just a bad decision in
bad turnover. Leads to bad transition defense. I mean, see, this is the issue here with your transition defense. You got to communicate better. Kentucky, because all that happened so quick, it was a 2-on-1. You're back. You've protected the basket. You stopped the ball. So now you don't have a man in transition defense. You see Trent Noah here because number 6, Scott, is his man. He runs to his man. You don't have a man in transition defense. You protect the basket. You stop the ball. You match it with the next most dangerous guy. The next most dangerous guy in this situation is going to be number 2, Tang. You have to get over here and take him away. You don't have a man. You don't have a matchup. It is transition defense at this point. But look how well Kentucky is set. Trent Noah, who just turned it over on one end, has to sprint back and get the best shooter on the court and take him away from 3. Now it's a 19-point game. A little bit of hard work that you did to give yourself a small semblance of a chance. This is out the window like that.
5-point turnaround in transition. Bad decision leads to an open 3.
Back down at least a tiny little bit of inside-out penetration leads to an offensive rebound. I mean, at some point, Yelovich is going to have to make some of these.
Open 3 on the other end.
Really good stuff from Montgomery. He was excellent. He was excellent in this game. Probably maybe the only real bright spot coming out of that debacle that we just watched.
Carson Cooper on the weak side.
Another Horns alignment. It's just a simple Horns ball screen. Again, like with this stuff that you can, like, you know what's coming and look at what these are being set. Just get underneath it.
Shot from the right, it's
he doesn't really screen you, so it's fine, but he does, because Jeremy Fears is really good. He puts you on your hip here.
Ward the handoff. Tang has looked very aggressive.
I like all that.
Fears turns the corner.
Top again. Stayed with them.
Ward inside.
No, gets buried by a
corner.
Good player there.
Ward inside.
Fighting for it, actually, something decent there.
To the wide open. Career high 13 tonight for South Michigan State. Here's Tang, who's already got a career high.
Got a little lucky, honestly, on that one. Good rebound by Owe. Playing transition at all.
It seems like
nope. Really good. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do there. That's just that's good transition defense by Michigan State. They're back. They're set. They're completely matched up at this point. But what do we get into? High ball screen again. That's just not. This is all stuff I'm going to talk about. Probably when I've written an article on KSR and any other content that I do coming out of this game. These early drag ball screens, that was stuff that was all great for Jalen Lowe, but Jalen Lowe's not in the game. Maybe a little bit of it so for Denzel Aberdeen, but his playmaking was certainly questionable in this one. Maybe a little bit for Jasper Johnson, but his playmaking was questionable in this one. There's nothing that Otega Owe is going to do off of a high ball screen. That's just not his game. He has other strengths. I'm not selling all my stock on the dude. I'm not saying he stinks at basketball all of a sudden, but that's not early high drag middle ball screen. That's not going to do anything for him. So why can't we
from Manchester, New Hampshire?
Like, whatever happened to hit the trail spot into a handoff, or let Yelovich run through here and then hit the trail spot into a stinking zoom action for Denzel Aberdeen.
Like
no, it's all this high ball screen stuff for guys that can't play.
That's putting a lot of pressure on this Kentucky defense.
Dribble into a crowd, dribble into a crowd.
And a foul.
At least you get fouled. But, man, like, this is just a low percentage proposition here.
And a foul drive. Bodies to the driver, especially Otega Owe. You have to show him a ton of bodies and make him play in a crowd. You give him a straight line drive.
At least you get a couple free throws out of it.
Year time at that game.
Kentucky has been much better
against Kentucky
at the free throw line. Maybe I mentioned Malcolm Marion, maybe the other
small
silver lining
is
some of the free throw shooting, but the three-point shooting certainly going to need to improve. Michigan State's going to see what they can do in the post here. I mean, Kentucky is just watch. Okay, we're going to end up watching this the first time. Let's just pause it. Let's pause it right here, and let's all just watch Jasper Johnson for the next 15
last year's
seconds.
National Player of the Year, the first pick
See everything
in the NBA draft of the Dallas Mavericks.
Guarding the ball. This isn't bad here.
Year, having to play the point for Jason
Ball
Kidd.
goes in the post. He's bouncing around, not really doing anything. Then runs to a hand that isn't his, and the ball goes right down the pipe
point for Jason Kidd.
A layup. Again, like, go do something. This guy's a non-shooter, so I like the position right now that Jasper Johnson's in. Not bad at all. But if you're going to be there, then why not just be here? Be more aggressive. Colin Chandler did a great job early in the game and forced a turnover by going super aggressive, putting his chest right into either this guy or Kohler and got him to turn over. But when you're just dancing around here, and then Owe communicates to him, but then it's what he talked to him. He didn't communicate to him because now they both went with number 9. And now you have Jasper just running around. Cam Williams sort of gives up on this drive. No rim protection.
And nobody gets in his way as he goes uncontested to the basket.
No close.
Now you're down 17.
And because it's
You
in
get
the
here,
middle
your
of the floor,
point guard
nobody
picks it up.
there
He's on
for
his
weak side
heels.
rim protection.
We're still in. This is weird.
Johnson.
I mean, that is a big time
Crazy.
pass. If we're going to do some of those stuff, then let's get more post touches from Reno, and then these cuts to the basket. That's a good cut by Jasper Johnson. We talked about Cohen Carr slipping some of that split action up top. That's pretty good there. And then, I mean, this pass, that is a big time pass. Some of this made possible also by the spacing of Cam Williams. That guy doesn't want to get all the way in here. So that's good to see.
Doesn't do much for fans
as
either.
well. Two-time
Give it
finish.
go, and it works.
We have just let
Out for a while, Jasper Johnson becomes even more important.
Keeping a little
Talented
life here.
freshman guard.
14, 12 minutes to go.
Can pass, had 7 assists in their
If you can
last
lock
game
in
to win
and
over
get a
Eastern Illinois. They need good minutes from Johnson.
Yeah, he's
There-
leading this.
So we did it. We do it this time.
In their last game,
Didn't do it
to
the
win over
last time.
Eastern
So I
Illinois.
gave him
They need
credit
good minutes
for,
from Johnson.
maybe getting coached a little bit, or somebody told him like, hey, if you're going to go,
Yeah, he's
then let's be
leading this
aggressive.
team in assists.
Scramble out of it
We have
really
some
well there. Like that's just solid defensive execution right there from Kentucky. 15 seconds into the shot clock. Let's get them keep it going.
Right away, he said he
Foul.
had the ball for
Well,
198 seconds in the
not the end
last
of the
game.
world,
He
but not
made
great.
37 passes.
Media timeout here. We don't want to watch all
Minutes of
the
the game.
illustrator
Of
stuff.
23 made field goals. A lot of good stuff at both ends of the floor tonight with the guys in green.
And one of the impressive things, there hasn't been
And
much of
hard
a
on the
drop
inbound.
off when Tom Izzo's gone to his bench.
Horns.
Yeah, McCullough's giving him some good minutes to the
Job is
true
a good defensive possession to this point. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Shot
Great.
clock at 1. Kohler gets it off, but doesn't draw iron.
Really, really good defensive possession on both ends of that timeout. Really good stuff there on that possession. 14-point game, 11:24 to go. That's probably one of the best defensive possessions
to go.
that
And don't forget,
Kentucky
there's another
had
game coming tonight
in the
in State
entire
Farm
game.
Champions Classic, Kansas.
Again, about 15 seconds before the clock, before the foul, and then executing out of
About
timeout.
30
Really good
minutes
stuff
after the
there
conclusion of this one.
defensively
Kentucky has
from
to
Kentucky. Now, again, this is the first offensive possession coming out of timeout, so this is going to be a called play, something that they spent an entire media timeout talking about.
Duke
See
about
what
30
kind of
minutes after
execution
the conclusion of this one.
Kentucky has to establish
we
some
get
rhythm
here on
in
the
this
slip.
game.
Not bad. I like Malachi Moreno post touch,
Little ball screen
foot action.
Marino trying to back down.
Pretty good spot, gets
and
fouled.
he'll draw a foul.
Hey, Dude's a freshman. He's playing at a high level.
In terms of
guys that I trust, I mean, do I think that Kentucky's going to win a million games with throwing it to Malachi Moreno and him grabbing to the midline and trying to score it with his left and getting fouled where he's
into the paint?
executed tonight? I think he was 7 to 8 from the free throw line. But I don't know if that's a long-term solution. But heck, in this game, I don't blame him. Great job by Malachi converting. 12-point game. 11 minutes, but then he comes out of the game. I mean, that's a different conversation for a different time. I'd have to see how long he played before that, but I don't know. You can certainly question, I think, some of the substitution patterns in this game. Denzel speeds him up just a little bit there. Great job by Cam Williams using his length. Jump passing lane. 10-point game, 10:56 to go. You get a little bit of game pressure here on Michigan State. Finally, some momentum. These next few possessions are going to define the game.
That kind of thing drives Tom Izzo crazy.
Well, the execution is from Kentucky starting on what right now becomes the biggest defensive possession since early on in
and inject a little
the
energy
game.
for Kentucky.
Doing some baseline runner stuff.
Give one away.
Guard number 9. I mean, I talk about it all the time when you're guarding shooters. Stay tight. At this point right here, I know he's on the high side and he thinks he's going to avoid some of the screening action, but I just think that's a losing proposition. You got to get up on this dude. If there's this much space between the defender and a shooter like number 9 Fort, you are done for already at this point. Now look at the separation now. He made like 2 steps, but just because these guys are in the way, now look at the separation. It gets further now. We have this much room. Now we have this much room while he's getting ready to catch the ball. If you're tight, you can come on this side of all that and kind of keep it up here. Make him curl that into that elbow jumper where you have some congestion. You can help there. You can help there. But when you come up through, it allows him to catch this. And now look at all this space down here that he has to drive it into.
And as you can see, Wildcats are making a run.
They finish.
Down to 10, but a bucket on
all right, so they score. You come down. But you get here. Oh, boy.
Fading back into the corner to read that defense.
27 seconds on the shot clock. No penetration. Certainly not uncontested. That's a 7-footer with a decent contest on that shot. 27 seconds on the shot clock. If I'm a coach, I don't want to rein in Jasper Johnson's aggressiveness too much. I don't want him turning down open looks. I don't want him playing anything but aggressive basketball. But there still has to be some cognitive reasoning of time and score and like how big a possession is. You just did all this work to get it to 10. You just made a mistake on the defensive end of the floor. If you're going to take this shot, man, it ain't fair, but you sure as heck better make it.
Defense, and then
he doesn't.
Finish from
12-point game coming down the other way.
Offensive rebounds continue to be very tough to come by for Kentucky as
live to fight another day there on the transfer downhill drive.
It is
shot the gap.
Oh, it's Kentucky.
Who is now on the bench.
That's now another big offensive possession. Out of a dead ball. Let's see what sort of
nearing the midway point of the
second
half. 12-point lead, Michigan
Don't mind
State.
that. A little short drive.
Not able to move Cole for one bit.
At least that's off of a post touch. I won't call it penetration. One thing, I mean, Vince Aberdeen has had some good things. He's shooting it, I think, okay overall in the season. I'd have to double check the stats, but that dude misses some as bad as I've seen good players miss shots. Like he airballs too many threes. Like, I don't care how many you make. You can't airball too many of them. It doesn't give you a chance to rebound it.
Came away with it.
Now, 2 offensive possessions, and you get a quick Jasper Johnson 3 with 27 seconds on the shot clock, pretty contested, and you get maybe a slightly better look from Denzel Aberdeen, at least a little bit inside out, but he misses by 10 feet. Turnover against. Now it's your third chance. Down 12.
The ball screen,
Let's see what happens here.
You should have just taken the ball screen, moved the ball.
I'll take that every day of the week. Rims out. Jasper gets it. Cuts it back to a 10-point game. Now we're back in this position. Timeout. 10-point game. Just under 10 minutes to go. We're going to keep watching here for maybe one more segment. Unfortunately, he get away from Kentucky. We know what's coming.
Instead of getting back,
at this point, but you have big possessions now again coming up. Got a little pressure out of the timeout, like it.
That's where when you got a lead, you have to be really strong and get a score here.
Good job by Aberdeen.
Right the ship a little bit if you're
I'd like to that's back a little bit at this point, but that's all right. We're getting some pressure on him.
Carr this time with a bounce
to
pass
Kohler.
into the post to Kohler. Almost walked with it.
Defense goes far. They can turn the corner, go to right there, and then that's just tough. Right here, though, is probably the if you get screened that hard, especially 9 seconds on the shot clock. Let's just switch this one.
Pass into the post to Kohler. Almost
Probably, if it's Jasper and Mo, I would probably just switch it anyway. A little bit of a pick and pop threat, less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. Let's switch this. If not, guarding Jeremy Fears and mostly a non-shooter there, can we maybe plug that gap a little bit more right there? Again, if you're just going to swipe at it, let's at least do something. Either stay home or cut that off. I know people are going to say, oh, don't help on the strong side. I mean, if he's going to make these, it's a decent tight end, it's a decent contest. I don't hate any of that from Brandon Garrison. He's going to make those. You tip your cap. There's a lot more issues over here than what happened over here on that possession. That's not me defending Brandon Garrison. That's just, to me, true breaking down that little period.
Thinking about taking that shot away from Jesse McCullough.
Obviously, got to get something here offensively now.
10 for 18 from beyond the arc.
Just disjointed. I don't. What's keeping you from running some zoom action?
Now 10 for 8
over here. I just don't. I don't know why that's just been abandoned with this group.
Diabate turns on Kohler.
Good move by Diabate. Looking to find another possession.
Kentucky's offense when they're getting it into the paint.
That's tough.
You like Kentucky.
We talked about these pin downs. Again, that's why I wouldn't be guarding Jeremy Fears all the way out there, because I want that help to come from there. Like, if you're going to resign yourself to guarding this guy or really any guy this far from the basket, you give them so much. I mean, this is where Michigan State wants to play offense in. They want to set these pin downs, they want to curl them, and they want to get elbow jump shots. When you are guarding the point guard 35 feet from the basket, you are playing into their hands. This isn't bad defense by Jasper Johnson. He's helping over the top of this. Mo Diabate can't do too much right here, because then either you're going to get some sort of a lob or a slip from Kohler, or you're going to get it on the catch here. So that's why I wanted all of that stunting, all of that help, all of the contest to come from the pass. But that's, he's got 15 feet to cover. He's going to do that with a pretty good contest, a really good shot. Not much you can do there.
How strong did he
honestly, if you're Kentucky defensively, if you're going to guard 35 feet from
aggressive looking for the shot.
The basket.
6 for 10 from
Or to
the
kind of
points.
a little get some zoom action there, but it's pretty ugly. Again, just a horrible miss by Diabate. I mean, why can't this be
this curling
normal zoom action? I mean, first of all, Brandon Garrison seems like he's surprised he's catching it there, and some of that's because they have been running different types of offense. But like, this used to be the norm. 5-man, including Garrison, catches it in the middle of the floor. We should be right into zoom now. Like, that should be the read. You catch it in the middle of the floor, we're down screen, we're coming off the handoff.
Lane.
Get to it, but it's just kind of haphazard. There's no real screen there. They just easily switch that. You're coming way outside the scoring area to get the ball. They blow up the handoff. Now even the point of this screen, Aberdeen never makes a move downhill. The spacing up here isn't great. It's a really deep three. And no real penetration. There's 19 seconds on the shot clock.
Deep one for
You take it
well short.
pretty much an air
Not
ball.
a good shot. I mean, Cohen
I mean, to me, that's just a pretty bad offensive possession, and it's in such a big
time at the point.
spot.
And Aberdeen.
A couple more possessions here.
This year, he's had 9, 10, 9, and 10 now assists in a game.
Well, he probably thinks it's a lot easier when they make every shot.
Tang, not this time.
Good D there. This is why, man, I haven't finished watching the film. Obviously, we got 8 minutes to go, but I don't know why Yelovich isn't playing up more than 10 minutes a game. He does a pretty good job moving his feet on guards consistently through this game and gets them to miss their length. Get lucky to come up with that rebound, but that's at least the second or third time this game where Andrei Yelovich got people to miss inside, unlike plenty of other people in this game.
Oh, what a crossover.
Now, that's a reason to drag ball screen for Owe when it's empty side and he can reject. I love Ortega Owe rejecting stuff and playing along the baseline. But this is one, again, it's tough. It's not always fair, but you're the preseason SEC Player of the Year.
Here comes Owe.
We need you to finish these.
Oh, what a crossover.
Go up a little bit stronger.
Recovered enough. Got a
Get an
little
11-point
help from
game.
Kohler, and Owe couldn't finish it.
He just
Well,
keeps
that's
playing
just
with
great
fire
help
because
by
it keeps
Jackson.
being 13.
Little help from
Now you are
Kohler, and Owe couldn't
completely
finish
lost. No communication here. Again, like this is not really transition at this point, so you should just be matched up. Like I don't know what happens between Garrison
it.
and Yelovich here, but they obviously both go with 15 Kohler,
That's just
and it leaves, 15 Carson Cooper. And it leaves Kohler wide open here. Like communication, I talk about it all the time. There's talking, which is just words coming out of your mouth. Communication requires comprehension, where what you say then actually gets delivered and executed by the other person. So I don't know who isn't communicating here, but clearly there isn't communication because there's two guys guarding one, and it's two guys guarding a 5-man 22 feet from the basket, as opposed to guarding essentially another 5-man standing on the block. That seems like a poor decision if we're just going to kind of guess on the decision to make there. Now it's a 15-point game, and it's kind of over now at this point. 7.5 minutes to go. Come down again. We're into a ball screen, something. Here's like an attempt to get him to zoom, but at least we're getting some ball reversals here. Oh, and guess what? I mean, it's not rocket science here, folks. Like, was any of that pretty? Not even a little bit. But look at this possession compared to so many that we watched. This looks a little bit more like old Kentucky. You hit the trail guy. Brandon Garrison is quickly into a handoff or into a little get action where you throw it ahead, ball screen, nothing there. Try to get some penetration. Now we've lifted and we're here. Yelovich gets it, immediately turns, and you're at least thinking about getting into zoom there. Aberdeen decides to come off himself for whatever reason, but I don't hate that. All right. Didn't really explore that situation, but there wasn't a lot going on. Another ball reversal. That's good. Cutting by Chandler. Great pass by Garrison. An even better pass. Athletic as heck from Chandler to a wide open Owe in the corner. That's an inside-out three that you can make. Hey, I'm going to say this about Ortega Owe. I've critiqued him as much as anybody, and I'm going to continue to do so because to me, he has to be held to that SEC Player of the Year All-American status that we all need and expect from him this season. But he went 2 for 5 from 3 in this game. A couple of those threes earlier I did not love. But hey, at the end of the night, we go to bed and you're 2 for 5, then I don't really care which ones you shoot necessarily. I have a much bigger issue with a couple of his mid-range jump shots than I do some of his threes. If you're going to go 2 for 5, then earlier in the game when I'm telling you to critique, or if I'm critiquing a couple of your attempts, then you end up for 2 for 5, tell me to shut the heck up because I'll take that every single day. Now you cut it to 12. Maybe you still have a little bit of life. Horns here.
Which means you should
Nothing
go at him at every opportunity.
That goes in.
Followed his miss.
and he just can't get rebounded. Again,
Fouls.
part of this probably
Which
comes
means
from
you
the
should
fact that you get
Go
caught
at him at every
going up through, because now you have to
opportunity.
lunge at him. That gets Brandon Garrison a little out of position. If you
Is
just
playing with 4
stay,
fouls.
I mean, you see it coming there. Like, instead of making the move here, make the move here, or either get on the outside of him and like force him to back cut it and stay with him, or get up there and then just ride his rear end over that
Which
thing.
means you should go at
But
him
now
at
we're
every
out of
opportunity.
position. You're flying by on the closeout. Brandon Garrison has to come in here now, and obviously doesn't really. I mean, I get he sure as heck doesn't get the rebounds. That's not a terrible job. Everybody's kind of cramming him inside of the restricted arc, but look at where Colin Chandler, he's completely out of bounds while Kurt Tang's coming in there, and Robert Enos can't track it down. Now you're really
went after the ball.
So we're going to go ahead and cut it off there. We just hit the 30-minute mark. That was almost perfect timing by me. Pretty impressive. But hopefully, I'm not going to say you enjoyed that film session, because I didn't necessarily enjoy it either. I know maybe there's more dead air, so it's a little bit more boring to watch, but I thought it would just be a good idea to, get through some of that live together. And that'll be my video that I'll put out probably Wednesday afternoon. But if you did watch today's video, this little chalk talk, please leave a like on the video. You can also hop into the comments section. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about what we just watched over the last 8 or so minutes of gameplay. Also, make sure you are subscribed to us here at the Brandon Ramsey College Basketball YouTube channel for more of these Chalk Talk episodes throughout the season. And also go follow me on Twitter at BRamseyKSR. Thanks for watching.